Hey, greetings to the world. I am still Cam, and this is still the Real Resilience Podcast. Again, we started this in an effort to try our best to weed out ignorance, because we never want that to be a reason why people don't get help or seek help or grow in the ways that are necessary in life. And today we have an awesome guest on the show. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Hello, all. My name is Justin, and I'm here living my best life, or trying to live my best life.
That's all we all really. That's I guess what we're all trying to do in a sense. In this conversation we're gonna have, it's gonna be uncensored, right? And it's just Cam and Justin have a conversation about things around resilience. So I'll just I've said it many times. For me, the definition of resilience is ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, right? That is not to say that when we get hit, it's not going to hurt. That's just to say that how can we still move forward with the life that we have? Because oftentimes, and sadly and tragically, people choose permanent solutions for temporary problems. And we just want to avoid that as much as possible and let people know, hey, you're not alone. The people around you may not be perfect. They may not be able to give you a perfect solution, but they are there to help you and to try to make sure that people aren't ignorant to what could be of help to them, so we can avoid people not making the wrong decisions. And that comes in many ways, shapes, and form. I'm specifically speaking to death by suicide right now in the Marine Corps specifically. We don't speak on behalf of the Marine Corps right here, but I am going to share a stat that usually we have about 3 to 4 deaths by suicide in a year by this point in time. This year we're up to 10 for the entire Corps as far as 2023 is concerned. So and just let me go ahead and lead with also saying that this is uncensored, unfiltered. I'm going to say some maybe bad words, as some will call them, but I hopefully also are able to say some good words and some encouraging words. But we do not speak on behalf of any organization professionally, anybody in the Department of Defense. Yes, we are veterans having a conversation about things, but this is our personal opinions on these subjects. So please bear that in mind, that we are not speaking on behalf of any organization or anything that we do professionally. We are speaking personally right now, folks. And to get into that, I'm just going to personally ask Justin, what does resilience mean to you, man?
So it's a good question. Resiliency is whenever I think about resiliency, it's just in simple terms. I would just say it's more of a term that you could use to say, hey, whenever you're dealing with any sort of adversity, hardship, tough times that you're going through in life, and you just feel like you just can't keep going forward, you still find that little spark inside of you, either whether it's in whatever it is that you're trying to fight for, just to get back up and just keep moving forward. And I feel like a lot of people struggle with that a lot, because resiliency is just every day is a struggle sometimes. Sometimes for some certain people, just getting out of bed is a struggle.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah, and sometimes we all fight our own battles that no one ever knows about, So resiliency, I just believe it's just whenever, no matter how small or big it is that you're going through, you just continue to keep moving and don't stop. You remember what you're here for and what your purposes are, and to just get up and just, in simple terms, just keep going.
Keep going, and like you said, in simple terms, and we talk about these subjects, and we hear it all the time. Don't give up, don't quit, be there, all that kind of stuff. But the main thing we want to get into here is the how. Is how can we as individuals apply these things? Because I'm going to be honest with you, man. Not every day of my life, nor my career in the military or as an adult, have I wanted to get out of bed. That's just the God's honest truth. I'd almost say it's somewhat of a spiritual reason why you get out of bed. Whatever makes you get out of bed, I would argue, is spiritual to you, because it gives you that reason to get up. It may just be to go feed the dog that day. It may just be to go out and earn for your family or whatever. But hopefully it's more than just those things. But tapping into, when we said purpose and we said having resilience and building resilience, how have you, in your time in this system and what we're doing, you're out here in Japan, you're obviously co-located from, are you married or single?
I am single. I'm single.
Okay, so he's single, and you live in the quote unquote what is that lodging facility that is so nice that you live in? What is it called?
The barracks.
The barracks.
The
We often-
bricks.
well,
Or
oh
what you
yeah, the
call it.
bricks. The
Yep.
bricks. So I mean, here you are. You're young. How old?
I'm 20 years old. Actually, recently turned 20.
20. Happy
Yeah.
belated birthday. Actually, I told him happy birthday at the time.
Yeah.
Because we happen to both pursue a certain outlet at the same time in different ways, but it's a healthy outlet, and we'll get into that. But okay, I just basically described, we said, who is Justin? He's a 20-year-old man, joined the military. He joined the service country. He's stationed foreign away in Japan, way away from where's home?
Home is in California.
In California. So we're not next to California. We're actually closer to Kim Jong-un right now than we are to Governor Newsom.
Yep.
So there's that. All right. But in saying all of that, what are some things that you do to remain resilient and to just, I mean, let me just ask first, is it challenging being in your situation?
Well, it definitely being away from home, especially considering I lived in California my whole life. I did not go outside of California until I joined the military.
You didn't even go to like Nevada one day?
I did go with my family a couple times.
Okay, all right,
yeah.
okay. I was like, dang, he didn't even leave the border. Dang, that's California love right there.
But so we mainly stayed in California for the most part, other than obviously Nevada to like go to Las Vegas or something, or like Reno, and just like the very borderline edge of Nevada.
Gotcha.
Other than that, I did not go outside of California at all. Like, I think the first time I actually went outside of California was when I first went to Florida for my school.
So for your job.
Yes.
So for listeners who don't understand, you go to your initial training, whatever basic training is. It happens to be in the line of work that we do. We call it recruit training. I'm assuming your wonderful stay was aboard MCRD San Diego,
Yes,
my friend.
MCRD.
Awesome. And then after that, you go through the training pipeline to eventually get you to the operating forces, which is where we'll all spend a bulk of our time with our contract. Everybody fixates on boot camp and stuff, but that's a very small percentage of the time that you'll spend on active duty. So after boot camp, after your combat training, you went over to Florida.
Yeah.
For your job skills training.
That is
Okay.
correct.
So that was to earn your occupation.
Pretty much.
Okay. And let's just try to break it down so everybody can understand where we're coming from. So Florida was your first time east of the Mississippi or east of
Yeah,
the West?
Pretty much, yeah. Anywhere that wasn't California was the first time when I went to my school for my training, for my occupation.
And then they said, hey, you want to go to Japan? They didn't ask you. They just told you.
Well, that's the funny thing, though, is that actually my experience is that when it was close to our graduating time when we were going to, we're like, hey, we're graduating in like, I think it was a couple weeks before. I don't remember exactly when, but they gave us this little sheet that said, hey, you have three options. It's like a paper, and I said it was like, I don't remember everything the rest. I honestly don't remember. I was just focused on where I wanted to be stationed at. And there was just three choices. It was West Coast, East Coast, or overseas. Those are the three choices they gave you. And pretty much I was like, The goal, like when I initially got to, after the combat training, was to go to Japan. That was the station I wanted to go to. I've been told many stories of like, hey, you might not. Really depends, But I was like, I don't care how small the chance is. If there's a little bit of a chance that I'll go and make it in Japan, I will go. So I put overseas, and I got a circle. And then we didn't get our sheets later until like, I think it was the day before that we graduated. They gave us our papers back and told us, hey, yeah, you're going to this place and you're going to that place. And I was lucky enough to be stationed here. And it's kind of an interesting thing because like it's a place I want to go to, but at the same time, it also comes with its struggles. Being away from home. What made those be?
So being away from home is one. Okay.
Yeah, being away from home, definitely like a new environment, like the culture shock. Being so used to American like culture, and then just completely flip swapping that to just Japanese culture and just everything that they do here out in Japan and also here on base. So yeah, it's just so much different. It's like the best way I can relate it to is like when you first go to school, like preschool, middle school, high school, you end up going to a new school, or maybe you go to the same school but you're just going in a different grade, or maybe there's just a bunch of people that you don't know.
Or maybe you're like going to a school where like nobody speaks your language or knows anywhere about you're from. Not all, but
Exactly.
you're
Yeah.
literally in a foreign land. It's
Mhm.
very humbling. I'll
Mhm.
say that. It's very humbling. Being out here, being stationed abroad, made me realize how American I really am.
Yeah.
Because besides 7-Eleven, ain't much stuff open at times. You know, usually the
It's
problem
not.
in America is money, right? You don't have the money for the thing you want.
For
Here,
real.
it's just they might not be open, and they ain't opening because they sold what they wanted to sell for the day. So that's
Yeah,
and
they're like,
they're done.
We're done.
We're done. Time to go home. You know, and
Exactly.
that's different. What else? What else? What are some other challenges?
Just honestly, so I joined right out of high school, and I didn't really have much adulting experience.
Right, right.
So me being like a 20-year-old guy just out of high school, joining the military, and now doing all these things about learning about how to be an adult and how to just take care of myself and how to just manage my own time
Right, right.
and manage everything that life has to offer is that's honestly a struggle in its own. You know, it's a big uh, like change for me personally because there's just I feel like I was like really taken care of as a kid
Right.
by my parents. I didn't really have a lot of like times where I could say, "Oh yeah, I could do this by myself," or I can be an adult, or I could be grown up.
Gotcha.
Right. So that's just my personal experience, you know. So just managing time, managing how to live, live my life as a single person here. You know, honestly that in itself is a struggle.
Just being single.
Just being single, just trying to learn how to figure out life, learning what I want to do
Right, right.
with everything. That in its own, just sometimes fitting in. A lot of people have told me that like the the person that I am, like personally, doesn't really match like the how can I say this the generalized spectrum of how everyone is.
Right. So to say like the archetype of somebody in the military, right?
Yeah.
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 Have you done one of those personality tests before?
Probably when I was in high school.
Okay. Okay.
But I don't remember anything.
I'll tell you, I didn't take it till I was in my 30s, but anybody can go on there. It's a free service, so I get nothing out of saying this, but it helps to understand yourself a little bit better. But it's funny, when I took mine on 16personalities.com, you can go on there and 16personalities.com. You answer some questions as honest as you can. You can't ask them when you're in a professional setting or anything like that because we all know how to act in certain scenarios, right? You know how to act when you go to work. You know how to act when you go to church. We're actors, like it or not, right? But they say to take it in your most comfortable state. So if you're interested in that, anyone out there listening, 16personalities.com, take it in a comfortable setting at your house. You know, for me, that's basketball shorts, some, Adidas slides, I think they're called now. I always call them flip-flops, but the kids call them slides. And just at home, just chilling, right? Just being me, being Cam. So I take it then. But when I got back the results, it was funny, and I took it again, too, just to confirm, and straight up, same results. I learned that I am totally counter personality-wise to military service. It's actually on the list of things I shouldn't do. And that's just so funny because
Look at that.
the stereotypes and the archetypes that are perceived, or maybe the status quo, that doesn't mean that's a standard, because I feel like we do have a lot of freedom to be ourselves and express ourselves. But again, it's all in good taste, and there's a time and a place for everything. But it's funny because I have the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
my personality-wise, it said, don't do that. And, well, here we are 20 years later, and I'm doing that. So I don't know. But in saying that and understanding yourself, and you said you didn't have too much adulting, and I'm sure you're not the only one in this situation because,
Yeah.
hey, it's a lot of young people in military service. Have you been in some adult scenarios that have tested your, let's say, your stress levels and being out here?
I do actually, yeah. So it was actually the time that I was temporarily moved to what was it? I think it was Hawaii, or it was originally to Okinawa, then to Hawaii, then to San Diego, and I'll get into that actually in a little bit of why I did that. But there was a time that I was leaving from Okinawa, Japan, which is also in Japan, right? So there was a plane that was going to Hawaii that I was supposed to take, but the plane that I took, I was looking at I was on the plane and I was looking at like when time the next flight is, so I know how much time I have before I need to get on the next flight, right?
Right.
So I I looked at it and I was looking at the time and I was checking my watch. I was like, oh, okay, it's this time. And then it said, okay, we're landing in like at this time, right? Like I think it was like super late in the afternoon, and I was like, oh wait, my flight's taking off. My my next one that I was supposed to take is leaving in like 10 minutes. So I'm like, oh well, I don't think I'm gonna make it. So then I'm like stressing out about, oh, what am I gonna do then? Because it was one of those things where I didn't pay for the flight where
It was paid by the
it was
government.
paid by the government.
Oh, so
yeah.
now you feel like, oh, I'm gonna have to pay the government
Yeah,
back.
I'm about to
I already owed them enough.
I'm about to miss my flight, So now I'm like, oh wow. Then I don't know what I'm gonna do. So then I was like, oh dear, geez, what? I'm gonna do this. So then I eventually landed, and then like obviously the flight already left. I ran over to the gate as fast as I could with all my stuff, and I went to the gate and I talked to them. I was like, hey, are we still boarding? And then it's like, no, it just took off, and I'm like, but it's right there.
Right.
But yeah, basically they didn't let me on, so I was like, oh man, now what am I gonna do? So then I remember I called the person that was because when you're temporarily relocated or temporarily medevaced is what it was, right?
Okay, gotcha.
Medevaced. So medical evacuation. My NMA or non-medical attendant,
The person who goes with you, kind of be your battle buddy, your partner.
much.
Don't make sure you don't get lost. Turn into Where's Waldo?
Exactly.
And it's over here like Where's Justin? And I don't know, somewhere in the Pacific.
He's somewhere over there. But
Yeah.
I remember the first thing I did. I was like, I called him and I was like, hey, this happened. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then he gave me a lot of instruction on what to do and helped me out, figure it out. And eventually I figured it out. I had to call. I forgot the name of them, but
Sato. Yeah, you probably
Sato.
sat on hold for about 36
30.
hours.
I was on hold for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
I was like,
hey, let's go ahead and speak to that. Sato, you suck. Fix your shit, man. Fix
45
your shit.
minutes of just waiting. I was
Causing
like,
a lot of fucking stress on us.
I remember I texted my NMA again. I said, hey, am I supposed to be waiting this long? He's like, yeah, it's fine. It's normal. I'm like, this is normal?
Oh my God, I'm so happy you said that. Normal, right? Normal doesn't mean it's right though.
No, it does
right?
not,
That just
absolutely.
means that's the shitty status quo that everybody's accustomed to. But yeah, thank you, Sato, for being so garbage because it's like 30 hours on the average, and most times our flights fall out and then we're waiting on hold for you. So if y'all could really like help us out with that, that'd be great. You could probably reduce some friction and stress. But so I look at this small scenario you've just pitched so far, all right? And I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I do want to kind of paint a picture of where we're at.
Yeah.
So here you are, foreign land, overseas. They're called orders. They're not called want-tos. So you're on orders, right? So they're telling you have to go somewhere. Okay, got to go here, got to go there, got to go there. Friction state, boom. What do I do? Luckily, in your moment of stress, and some people listening might go, oh my God, we're talking about missing a flight. You know, you might think that, but hey, this same principle can apply to so many things. I heard that you first reached out to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Did you? You didn't know what you didn't know, so you had to reach out to somebody for some help, right?
Yeah.
And then you also, you talked about the levels of stress that you were under, but then you also talked about this is normal, right?
Yeah.
But it's still fucked up.
It is.
It's still fucked up.
Very much so.
And how often does that occur in our day-to-day lives? And we talk about this and we've done the training together, the operational stress control and resilience. I call it resilience, but the actual acronym is for readiness. But how could we stay ahead of things? Now, let's say at the same time in all of this, because this happens a lot of times too, you're not just on medevac for whatever, maybe it was a minimal procedure, don't know. I'm not saying I don't care, but HIPAA, right? Don't ask. But let's say it was a severe situation that you were in, and let's say you had to eventually go back home because you had a loss in the family, and maybe professionally you're not doing too well at your job because, quote unquote, you suck at your job, right? You think about all these stressors and how they compound. And how many people don't reach out for help, don't reach out for any form of help. In that scenario, would your situation have gotten better on its own if you didn't reach out for help? Just saying the scenario, folks.
Okay. If I didn't, honestly, if I had no one that I knew or did not reach out for help, I don't know what I would have done, honestly, because
We'd still be looking for Justin in the Pacific.
Yeah, for real. I'd be lost in SeaTac somewhere in Seattle. I'd just be like,
you up in Seattle?
I don't know. Exactly.
Shout out to USO in Seattle. You guys are awesome. If y'all ever listen, the USO in Seattle is amazing. The peanut butter and jellies keep my morale high. Thank you.
They deal with a lot of people, yeah. But yeah, honestly, if I didn't have anyone, or I just didn't straight up reach out for help, like I don't even know what I would have done. I probably would have ended up going AWOL or something because missed a flight, and I just didn't. I wouldn't have known what to do because I didn't have a lot of flying experience
Uh-huh.
with anything. I've never took at the time. I didn't have a lot of. I've never taken a lot of flights on planes before, right?
Right.
So like I didn't. I was still kind of getting in the process of it. Like I remember the first time, just getting to my school, my training. Like I was just like, oh boy, I hope I don't miss this because I don't know what I'm doing. Like
Yeah.
just going through the security gate and just seeing like, oh wait, yeah, you got to do this, and I'm like, oh wait, what? And it's like, oh, you got to take off your belt. I'm like, wait, okay, all right. Got to take off your shoes too. I'm like, oh, this is all so new to me, right?
Yeah, but to you that was stressful, and this is the thing that we talk about with the Oscar because you've never experienced these things, right? And again, it's just a flight, right? To some, and they're like, I do this all the time. I do flights. What is this guy talking about? No, but what we're drawing here, folks, is a individual who has never experienced certain things or certain types of things and is now experiencing these things, and to where normally that would make someone who's accustomed to that not so stressed, it's getting him all worked up, right? You can apply the same principle to so many things, and the thing I really want to emphasize is you didn't suffer in silence. You reached out, you got help. You felt stupid, you felt humbled a little bit, I'm sure, but you learned, and we're
Yeah.
still here talking today, and you're not just missing somewhere. So
Yeah.
I think oftentimes, metaphorically, I've seen service members, especially because of pride, they won't reach out for help in whatever stressful state they're in, and then
Oh boy.
they really are literally lost, literally
Yup.
lost. Have you come across any scenarios like that? I mean, you're in the fleet now, you're in the operating forces, you're a guy in the barracks, man. How is day-to-day life like in the barracks and seeing the other service members around you and tying to the things that we're talking about right now and being lost? Do you know any lost individuals?
I do actually. So I have a friend of mine, right, who is not stationed here where I'm at, but he's in another station, also in Japan, Okinawa, right, and he is. I've known him since like middle school. Like I've known this guy like pretty much my whole life,
Got you.
and when I joined, he joined, and we both just ended up going in the same field of aviation. That's what my occupation field is.
So like airplanes and stuff like that. What is this aviation? So it's a big word.
So you work with aircraft? Got it.
Yeah, aircraft. Yep. So then, he recently actually just got stationed in the fleet as well. I came here before I got into the fleet before he did, but he's still pretty new, but he's been here for a hot minute now. But he's definitely like a lost individual, as you would describe it, because I've known this man for a while, and he rarely ever asks for like help at all. Like not just in the military, but just
Life in general.
life in general. Exactly, like life in general. I ask him, hey, like, are you good? And then he'll just either just stonewall it up or something, or he'll just not say anything, or just dodge the question, beat around the bush, as you call it, you know. And it's funny because he's always been like that. Ever since like I found out why he's like that, I've been just trying to get to him and trying to help him out, right? But he just refuses. As far as why, I am not sure.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel bad for me, considering even though I've known him for like a long time. I'm sure a lot of people would be upset that, hey, I've known you for like 10 years,
Right,
and you're
right.
not telling me this stuff, right? So, but for me, like, when it comes to those certain topics, it's just hard to talk about, and I can understand that.
And when you say those topics, well, this is called real resilience talk. I mean, I'm not saying get specific to your friend's business, but are we talking about like wellness and mental health and trauma and things like that, or are we just talking about something else that we just don't want to talk about?
No, yeah. So mental health is definitely one thing that these topics that we talk about. Mental health, his well-being, just him not wanting to open up. Like he's a very closed-off person.
Okay.
He's a very pessimistic person, and we're like almost complete opposites in that. So like just him, just like not complaining, but just expressing how much he doesn't like his situation of what he's in. Of I don't know what situation he's talking about, but just him being very pessimistic and having a bad outlook on life. And I've always just wanted to try and get to him about that.
Yeah.
But it's just.
And some people are just like that by nature, right? Like,
Mhm.
and nobody's saying you have to walk around and say, "Hi, everybody," all bubbly and everything. I mean, everyone has a different personality type. Some people are just bubbly on the inside. They just they just have a really shitty way of showing it on the outside, right? But to each their own on that. We're not advocating that
Yeah.
everybody has to be some walk around just super happy. Like, what's the guy off Lego Movie? Everything is awesome.
Everything is
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, we're not.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying that, but to say that, okay, just this fits into a lot of people. You look at things negatively, you compound things, you don't open up to others. It sounds like potentially can deal with a lot of shit, and I'm glad you brought this up because it brings to a point where I think we talked about it during Oscar. If you don't deal with your shit can deal with you, and now you got some real shit, right? So we have to put that somewhere, and hopefully your friend and any of us listening, I'm sure we all have friends like that, or you yourself, or I've been like that before where I've closed off, right? And it shut me down, man. It did. That's how I'm wired. Some people, they go internal to seek things, but what are some things that you do in your life? Because I see you're a very positive individual. You've been successful so far.
I try to, you know.
Well, hey, that's the key, right? Whether I want to be here or not, you should know the difference, and that's called professionalism, and just, you know,
Yes,
because we
sir.
all know how to act, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But what are some things that you do to find outlets and find things to do? And I am teeing up one of the most healthy outlets. That's how we actually met was, so what are the things you do to release and to put that energy somewhere? Because if you don't deal with that shit, it deals with you. So
100%. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So yeah, the first thing I'll bring up is one of these events that the guy that I'm talking to right now actually hosts. It's called Open Mic Night.
open mic.
Open mic, yeah. So it's pretty much just an event where you just go to like a public staging area or situation, scenario, whatever you want to call it,
Yep.
and you just do whatever the hell you want. You can sing, you can read poetry, you can read quotes, you can do anything you can think of that you think will entertain people, or even you just want to just entertain yourself. It doesn't even have to entertain other
That's
people.
true. That's true.
It could just be, hey, I want to sit here and talk about a funny story that I want to share with all you guys. Like, it's not like, as you say multiple times at the beginning of your show, it's not a talent show.
It's not a talent show.
It's not a
A lot
talent
of people
show.
don't understand that. It's really just a way for us to come together, express ourselves, like, again, that outlet. And we all support and defend our Constitution, which speaks on that First Amendment. So why don't we use it a little bit, right? As long as we're not saying anything that's going to cause, any hate or divisiveness, and we're obviously not speaking on behalf of the profession that we're in, but we speak honestly and express ourselves. And man, wow, you realize there's a lot of people putting on faces, and they're really, really hurting, and you don't know it until they get up there and they express it, and you go, damn,
Like,
wow,
wow.
man, I'd have never guessed. And it's not to dog them or to judge them, it's just to say, hey, man, like Robert Williams said, everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. So be kind, right?
Yes, sir.
How is that? I'm really not trying to promote the open mic or anything like that. Or be like, hey, isn't open mic awesome? But how has that helped you in your times? Because we started that back in September. We're now in April. I think you
Yeah.
started coming around October-ish, November-ish or whatever. But and this is an awesome singer right here, a talented songwriter, can cover anything. And what was the instrument you played the other night? He plays guitar.
yeah.
What was the shit he played?
Kalimba.
A
it was what it
kalimba.
was
I can't even
called.
spell that shit. Like, he played a kalimba, and then he did the last Avatar song, like, right
Yup,
there. I mean, just, it's so reassuring to me, and I'm a nerd, right? And I like the arts, but it's reassuring to me that this younger generation of the next generation that's coming up into our military, that you're not just sitting around in the barracks, drinking, feeling sorry for yourself, hating life, going internal. You're actually taking some of your pain, and I've heard you express it publicly, and sharing it on the open mic and through that. How has that helped you in these last few months?
It's just helped me just learn how to learn how to deal with things like that, you know? Like, I feel like when it comes to just expressing pain or like just any emotion really, you just saying it and talking about it and knowing that other people like feel what you feel and getting that kind of like brotherhood sort of
Ooh,
emotion.
that's good. That's so real.
It's definitely reassuring that, you know, it's nice reassuring to know that, you know, you're not alone in it.
You are not alone.
Yeah.
I'm trying out for open mic next week. But y'all know the Michael Jackson song.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so yeah, so for real, like you're not alone, and just knowing that and being reassured of that, because I feel like a lot of people just need reassurance half the time. Like,
That's true.
people don't even ask for it sometimes, but if I were just to be reassured without even being asked or told, like, it's a good feeling, and that's one of the things that really helps is just knowing that people are there and they understand it, and that, you know, it's just how life is, you know, sometimes, and that's okay. Like, honestly, just life just it is what it is sometimes, and you can just deal with the cards you're played with and just try to make the most of it. Like, life is too short to be like be stuck on something or hold a grudge on something for too long. So
That is very true. And half the time, we really, one of the things that was so, just liberating for me, to be honest, I had a mentor of mine, Mark, I call him Burt Sugar because he just called, the fight just happened. He called that Davis was going to knock Garcia out. And I was like, nah, man, I think if it goes to the cars, but this guy's an awesome boxing mind, but also a prolific advice giver and just a great human. But I was young and I was really wrapped up about stuff, and he explained to me Stoicism. He explained to me what Epictetus talks about the circle of control and the circle of things you can't control. And when you just talked about grudges and you talked about bitterness and just those negative feelings, right? I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, I'm trying to paraphrase here.
yeah,
But oftentimes, people are focused on things we can't control, and then they allow those things to control them. And that's not to be naive or to be a sociopath. It's just to be able. What he taught me was to disconnect, and I'm not great at it. I mean, we all get wrapped around the axle sometimes on things, but I think if we stay in that muck, and if we stay focused on things we can't control, which are grudges, which is the past, which is kind of the way that things are, if you can't change it, man, change your attitude, right? Do you know of people that, you know, because I mean, you're of the younger demographic here, right? And I know how I felt. I was in that before, and I had a negative ass outlook, and I was just like, I fucking hate it. And everybody's like, oh, I can't wait to get out. But like 6 months ago, they were like, yay, I'm in this now. And that puppy dog love for this organization, what we do, wears off. And how do you? I mean, you do the arts. You're an awesome musician. You're an awesome singer. You're a talent, man. I'm not just trying to kiss up to you. I'm being honest. Like you're outstanding. For those that don't have those, though. And you know, man, you look in the quad, you see the fucking smoke pit philosophers out there all night long, right? Like,
I love that.
It's the
Smoke pit
is it
philosophy.
the truth? Is it the truth or is it the truth, right? And trust me, I was right there, right? I'm not saying there's something wrong with sitting out in the smoke pit. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with having a good time, but
Yeah.
how many people? What's the average hobby?
Drinking, like
Okay.
smoking, like just for people in general.
No, I mean like in the organization that we're in,
Okay.
the younger people. What you said it. It's drinking.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. My friend who's in a station in Okinawa, he drinks pretty often. Like, it's not bad, but he drinks often. And every day, like on the weekend, either when it's on Friday, Saturday, or even today on a Sunday, I always will see at night that just people living it up and just people yelling. I remember, last night I heard some people yelling in the quad, and I'm like, what the hell's going on down there, right? But yeah,
They were
like
just playing tag.
they're who knows?
At 1:30 in the morning, right?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? It was pretty late at night, but that's what people do. I mean, obviously, there's nothing bad about just gatherings. You know, I
Right.
encourage those. It's just, I feel like I would argue that drinking with other people, I think, is healthier than drinking by yourself.
That's true. That's well said. And most people start off with others, and then you know, you're by yourself, and hey, you know.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Like, hey, I drink too. But I'm like a casual drinker. Like after 2 drinks, I'm all right. I'm done. I remember yesterday, like after my second one, I was like, oh, I actually feel kind of sick. I feel like my heart's gonna stop.
And for anybody listening, you're like, he's 20. How is it that he can drink? What is this thing? How can you drink here, sir?
Well, if for those who don't know, the legal drinking age in Japan is 20 years old.
Bam. So he ain't breaking no rules, y'all. No rules. No rules are being broken. And his friend that does it too, guess what? He's not breaking any rules either.
Yeah. He's the same age as me.
So there it is, folks. So anybody here is like, oh my God, we got an allegation here. There's under. Nope. We're in Japan, folks.
In Japan.
But at the same time, if that is your only vice, if that is your only outlet, you're not learning how to cope with things and how to weather the storms of life. If that is the only thing that you seek to have fun with, and sadly, is that common? I know it, man. We didn't have Bluetooth speakers back then, but getting drunk in the barracks and having some computer speakers with a Discman, that was like every day, if not every weekend thing, and it never really did anything much else. It was more or less like the drinking was all about it, and it's so woven into our culture. And I speak on it a lot because when it comes to mental wellness, alcohol can be a depressant. It is a stimulant for some people, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of times when people have death by suicide, when people have suicidal ideations, when people have suicidal attempts, it is in line with and correlating with a night of drinking. It's just a fact. And it's just you're 6 to 7 times more likely to have suicidal behavior in general if that's the case. And I know for us out here in Iwakuni that there's a 60% reduction in suicidal symptoms of anybody once alcohol is removed. And that's, again, I'm not trying to say it causes it, but what I am trying to stress is, and why I have this guest on here today, an awesome example is, and it might be the gym, it may be, I don't care if it's drawing, art, volunteering, getting outside of the spaces that you're in. He takes his energy, and yes, he does also consume adult beverages as he legally is able to. It's legal, y'all.
Yeah.
He's 20, right? All right. But on the same note, that's not the only thing, the only vice that he has, the only thing that he puts his time and effort and energy into, and he puts it in other places. And that's what I really want people to understand is the healthy outlets. And I wish I'd understood it when I was younger because I think I wasted a lot of time. And I go back to Bruce Lee, who I reference a whole lot. But if you love life, then don't waste time. For time is what life is made up of. And when you're just inebriated and intoxicated all of the time, I'd argue you spend a lot of money to piss. A whole lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Jay-Z even said it in a song. He said, I spent all this money on Ace of Spades just to piss it out. Like, and it's the God's honest truth. But I'm not saying that it needs to be illegal. That led to NASCAR and to fucking gangster movies. But I want young individuals, I want all individuals to try to find other outlets, other escapes. There are other things around here that you can do. You found one in open mic night we do. What are some other things that you do to keep yourself in tune and keep yourself performing at the high level that you do? Because I know we don't speak specifics for OPSEC reasons, but I know that you are in a highly operational position, and there's a lot of things going on out here on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, yeah.
You can Google that or you can watch it on the news. So we're not saying anything anybody doesn't know, but we're rated the tip of the spear, and this man's rated the tip of the tip of the tip of the spear. So, and I commend you for it, and I thank you for your service, and it takes a village and all that we do, but that takes a toll on people. Your friends, your fellow comrades at the Bricks are putting in a lot of fucking hours, are they not?
Oh, 100%. Like even our squadron, I feel like we work a lot. The hours are pretty long. Like days will last 10 plus hours.
Shout out to the government for being smart to give us salaries and not hourly wages. That was very smart play, ma'am and sirs. Thank you.
Yeah, but I'm sure in other squadrons around, I haven't been in long enough to been there, but I've visited enough people and know enough people in different stations to get an idea of also what their
and
workload
your op tempo's
is
at
like.
a different level, right?
Off tempo is at a different level. Their off tempo is
not what yours is.
Exactly.
Just put it like that, folks.
And off tempo is like a hard working day for them or something.
Yeah. And that's a Wednesday for you.
Yeah,
Or a
exactly.
Saturday, right?
Yeah, they're hard day, or sometimes exactly. Yeah, we'll just be working on the weekend just because
That's what the mission calls for.
exactly, and that's what we do. And like, I'll bring up my friend a lot, but he's also an Okie, but he actually has a much bigger and longer workload than I do. I don't know how true that is, but I only have his side to go off of. But and I just if I heard it, I'm like, I believe it, considering
sure,
my
yeah.
time here and my experience is something similar, something I could relate to. Is just I just believe it, just because I feel like when there's like an idea out there that this happens a lot, and not just in here in our squadron, but I feel like if someone were to tell me from another squadron in another part of the world, in America maybe, that hey, this is what our thing is like, and it's like, oh yeah, that's either it's gonna be less or it's gonna be more. I don't know, but usually if they tell me, hey, yeah, our workload is blah 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 blah, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's that makes sense. It could be like we work 24 hours a day, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I 100% believe that,
Yeah, yeah, and
That's just-
that's good. I mean, you gotta take people at their word value. But fact of the matter is, you and your peers and a lot of us out here are working very hard, and that's whether they're military, civilian, or their families. And I draw on that, and I emphasize that because it takes a toll on people, right? And I bring up the subject of healthy outlets because what do you do with that energy, with that monotony the monotonous buildup that is in it's just a part of what we do, right? It can get rigorous, and that's what we signed up for, and that's how we support and defend our Constitution.
yeah,
But I also bring it up to say, if you're not taking care of yourself, the you that you are at that mission, at that job, can you honestly say that you're being the best version of yourself, or you're being the best service member, or the best spouse, or the best person that you can be, if you are also taken away from yourself by having negative outlets? What say you to that?
Let's see. So, like, I'm trying to understand the question a bit.
That was a long ass thing.
Yeah.
I just pitched, sorry.
No, it's
But
good.
I'm
I'm
just
trying to understand the question a bit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to say that it takes a toll on people, and when people have negative outlets, and that is their outlet, that is their vice.
Okay.
How does that work out? And how they perform?
How they perform?
You see it. You know people that's all they do.
Yeah.
They go to work, they grind, and then they get fucked up, and they chase social media all day, right? Or they play video games, and then they get fucked up again, and then they go to work again.
And it's just a cycle.
Okay, so, how's that math adding up?
Well, I just think that with that cycle of just grind, get fucked up, play video games, whatever, rinse and repeat, on and so on, so forth, right? I feel like eventually, like, you get to a point, like, probably around, like, the 4-month mark, where you're just like, God damn, it's just boring. And then eventually you believe that's the only thing you can do.
Uh-huh.
You feel like you're convinced that, oh, this is the only thing you can do, this is the only thing that I can do to make me feel a certain way, this is the only way I can escape work or escape the rigorous routines that my workload has to offer, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like at that point, that cycle, like that, I feel like you're very in a very closed box.
Got you.
Where you're just stuck in this, like, oh, I need to do this now, or I'm gonna go do this because this is what I always do. Or every weekend it's like, okay, it's the weekend, time to go do this. And then it kind of, I feel like it's very deteriorating for their mental health.
Wear and tear.
Just because it's like, for me, doing something the same thing over and over again, like go to work, sometimes it's just the same thing, repetitiveness. Okay, oh yeah, we gotta go fix this part of the aircraft, or all right, it's a slow day, or oh, you clean the shop every single time, take out the trash, get yelled at eventually.
It's like Groundhog Day kind of thing.
Exactly, it's a groundhog thing. It's like, oh, okay, what's the new bullshit today?
The new bullshit today.
What's new? What's gonna cause me some more issues today?
I get, and this is where I know we have talked about this before about, and that's what I was getting at earlier about, we fixate on when we first join the military, like the boot camp side of it and the initial stage of it, right? Mm-hmm. And we get through boot camp, and this is why I loved that we had leaders in our Corps specifically, but this is applicable to all of the military. Like, we never really made it, but we focus so much on the beginning portion of it, but the bulk of everything that we do is the rest of it. Like, if you just think the average person's the government's gonna get like 4 years out of everybody. Boot camp's 13 weeks long in the Marine Corps. You direct that off the top, the 208 weeks, right? Four times 52. 195 weeks is what you just described.
Yeah.
Is that monotonous day to day, because that's what we're here for. We're here to do a certain occupation, a certain job, to fulfill a certain mission for wherever it is that they see fit that we be at. And that's what we do. But I think we have this transformative experience, this thing that essentially fills us up and keeps us so fulfilled, and you're chasing this thing in earning the title Marine or sailor or soldier or airman, all of that, right? And then you get to the real operating forces, and you can eventually feel as though you're just a cog in the wheel. And this is where I try to emphasize that people have to continue to challenge themselves. Now, that is also not to say, and please don't ever hear me wrong, that because I'm describing those who choose permanent solutions for temporary problems in the form of death by suicide or having a alcohol-related incident, I'm not trying to victim blame by any means or say, hey, man, if you'd have just had a better hobby, that wouldn't happen. Not at all. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that going down these dark alleys, going down these monotonous downward spirals of what our vices may be, and not having healthy outlets, well, no shit. Like, we get into these positions to where we make bad decisions or seek permanent solutions for temporary problems. And my whole thing in making this is to let people know, and I'm glad you said it earlier, hey, you're not alone, and these outlets can make a difference, because I'm sitting next to an individual who keeps his shit together for the most part. You do. I've seen you perform at work. I've heard of you. You're in here doing the job day to day. You have a smile on your face. You're not all bubbly. You're not fucking, what's his name, Evan? Yeah, Evan from Lego Movie. You're not everything is awesome, but you have,
Evan, that's right.
besides the open mic, what are some other things that you do? Because I know people could be out there, people are probably tired of me saying the coaching and things like that, but what's some other things that you do to keep yourself fulfilled and to keep that transformation, that growth continuing, and not just feeling like for that 195 weeks or whatever your week count comes out to be? I think mine's in the thousands now, 2,000, 3,000, I don't know.
Oh, no.
But it's been a long time.
Yeah.
What are some things you do to keep yourself fulfilled, bro?
Volunteer events. So for those who don't know, there's a program that the Marine Corps offers. It's called the Single Marine Program, and pretty much
They have an
SMP,
acronym, right?
yeah.
Oh,
Here's one more acronym for y'all folks.
SMP.
There you go.
SMP. I love the SMP. Shout out to the SMP, because y'all are all fucking awesome, you know. So Single Marine Program. So it's pretty much a program dedicated to single Marines, unaccompanied service members, if you want to be fancy, just to have events, a place where just you can go to, and just they just offer so many services. They can
Like
offer
what?
you.
Don't y'all have like your own gym and shit that like
Yeah. Well, it's
married
here
people ain't
specific.
allowed to be there unless you but you said unaccompanied. So those who are
Unaccompanied.
married, who are over here, we call them geographical bachelors. They're over here on unaccompanied, so they're stationed away from their family. I'm trying to make this understandable to everyone out there. You're like, yeah, no shit. I know you're like that.
Yeah.
But so those who are straight on paper single, and those who may be married but are out here by themselves.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So obviously every SMP building is different. Not even every base has an SMP building, I've been told. I remember actually my friend is stationed in Okinawa. They don't have an SMP building, and I'm like, hey, no way. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Or maybe he
But
just doesn't know of it because he doesn't know of his resources.
that's
Potentially,
true.
potentially,
Potentially,
don't know.
who knows?
Yeah.
But I know that every building that the SMP has is different. But pretty much in a generalized term of what they do, they just have events for single Marines to just, I feel like it's just to show them that, hey, there's something to do.
Something to do. And that's sometimes what all of us need, is just
Yeah,
something to
exactly.
fucking do.
So they'll have every event. They have like trading card game nights. You know, for those people like myself who play like card games like Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, or like any of those Pokemon. You know,
Right.
they have those events. They host them at their building, and you could just go and you can meet some new people.
Connection.
Connection.
Community.
Community. Builds a
connection.
community. It's a lovely community. That's another thing that they do, you know. It's not just an event or, hey, this is something you could do. You get, with those things to do and similar interests, it builds a community for everyone in that community, right? So your community could be video games. Your community could be trading card games. Your community could be music. Your community could be like customer service.
All about
you know?
getting swole, bro.
All about getting swole.
Going to the gym by the hornet's nest and getting swole as fuck, bro.
Exactly. You know, there's gym events. They have like I think it's a 1,000-pound club or something. It was called.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So there's options
Exactly.
for healthy outlets. Just I don't know why we all wearing so many little ass shorts on this base, dude. Dudes in little shorts, man. I don't know what the fuck is going on around here, but I don't know if it's a thing everywhere else. But out here in Japan right now, man, these younger fellows are wearing a lot of little shorts. I just didn't know fucking 1983 was back, but here we are. Okay, so shout out to those doing squats in little shorts. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you all.
Yeah.
But that's their healthy outlet. At least they're doing that, not something else. And I hope it didn't sound like I was shitting on video games. I love video games. You know, I love them.
Hell yeah.
Been playing them my whole life. But if all I do is play fucking video games, how's that gonna work out?
I mean, eventually you'll just get bored of the same game, or you'll just try and find that new game that doesn't exist yet, right?
Ooh, chasing things you can't control. Oh shit, what's that? You know what I mean? And I just want our younger people especially, but I think all of us, man, we all need to find some healthy things to fucking do. And it's so cool that the S&P has. And I know y'all have like guest speakers come in sometimes too.
Yeah.
And y'all do trips too, right?
Oh yeah. Well, there's at least one or there's usually one big trip like every month. So I think the last one was the Shikoyama Castle, I think it was called. I don't remember. Forgive me if I butchered that, but they do have.
It's a castle
trips.
in Japan, everybody.
It's a castle in Japan. I don't know where it is. I always fuck up the pronunciation, but yeah. But usually, they'll have one big trip to like some part of Japan, like whether it's the Hiroshima Castle or the Hiroshima shrines, all the different places in Japan that you can go visit to. The S&P hosts those trips, usually on the weekends too. So you usually could fit into people's schedule, unless you're too busy gaming it up or getting fucked up, you know. But
yeah. Hey, and
it's something to do.
Is that a fact though? We have that. Shout out to AFN. They have some fucking hilarious commercials. I don't want to name anybody on here, but AFN. Y'all know who y'all are. You know I love y'all, man. They got some funny ass commercials. They one. They were like, "Hey, Devil Dog, you just came back from Japan. Did you Did you go to Fuji? Did you do this? He's like, nah. I just stayed on the air station to play video games most of the time.
Yeah.
And it's fucking true, man. You go to a foreign land, right? The farthest in the Pacific. Well, no, I don't. All right, somebody with a map is gonna be. This guy's a fucking idiot. Anyway, look, you're way far away from America, okay?
Yeah.
You're serving your
much.
country, and you sat in the fucking barracks and played video games for fucking 3 years, for real?
Yeah. Wow.
Like, and then you were also like, and I'm fucking depressed. Well, no fucking shit.
Goddamn.
I mean, honestly, if you weren't depressed, maybe there's a problem because that's some pretty depressing shit. You know, and I heard that. I think I heard Dr. Phil. He was talking one time. He was on Rogan, and he was like,
Dr. Phil.
Oh, Dr. Phil, man. But he was talking about somebody was like, hey, I'm married, and I got divorced, and I got money problems, and I lost my job, and I'm fucking depressed. And he was like, well, you should be. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you weren't, maybe you're a sociopath, and that would not be good, right? So sometimes if we do the math, like CBT, cognitively break down things, we can get some answers. Now, that is not to say that depression and mental illness is not something caused by certain things not, just functioning right. I put it in my damn PHA every time I take one. Bad wiring. You know what I mean? I got bad wiring, right?
Who knows?
But you have to understand yourself, get to know yourself. But I like what you said about S&P and some of those things. You said this earlier, and I loved it. Sometimes all we need in that moment is just a little bit of reassurance.
Yeah.
And when you say that, what things do we need to be reassured in?
One big thing for me to be just reassured about is that you're not the only one, you know? I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that to just be like, oh, you're not special, or you're not like, and I'm not trying to make it sound like demeaning or
I'm going to
condescending.
say it for him, man. Hey, that's a problem with our society today. Everybody's important. Nobody's fucking special. All right, I just want to say that.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm not saying it to be condescending or demeaning. It's just, I'm saying it in you're not alone in a more comforting, empathetic way.
Yes.
So like, hey, like you're dealing with this thing, you're dealing with depression, or you're dealing with this mental illness, or you're just not feeling good. Sometimes you're just not feeling good, you know? And it's like, hey, yeah, my guy, like, I feel you, man, whether I'm dealing with it right now or maybe I haven't dealt with it, but I just want to know, I want you to know that I'm there for you.
Period.
And I want to be there for you when you need it the most. And that's the kind of person that I like to be for people, you know?
Be that friends you need, right?
Exactly. I want the friend that I wanted when at the time I did have the people I I wanted to have. But I want to be the people, or the person rather, that people don't have when they're like just in a dark place and
Yeah.
they feel like they're isolated and they're in like a dark corner and they just want to hide away from the world, right? I want to be there for people, you know?
When you do that, though, how does that make you feel? So and I'm not saying you're the one that's hurt in the situation, but you're the one trying to be a help, or you're being there for somebody. What is that? What is that? Does that have any effect on you?
So it does. It gives me like a purpose.
Oh.
It gives me like a drive to want to be there for people.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like a lot of people, like when it comes to just finding what I need to do to make myself happy, or to make myself feel good about myself, or to just be happy in life, is just purpose.
Purpose.
And a purpose that I like to have is to be there for people when they need it the most. And whenever I find those people, like whenever I'm just walking by, just to go to the exchange and just, hey, I see this guy, he's struggling, or this guy doesn't look like he's having a good day, let me do something for him. Or even if I'm just passing by duty, you know? It's like, hey, I know
I saw
duty
you in the store the other
Yeah,
day at
dude.
Northside PX. You were like, I was like, what are you doing here? You was like, I got a friend on duty and I'm getting him something. You was getting him energy drink, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was.
Did you receive from that though, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm alluding to, not to be snarky, but when you go external and you help others, it helps you.
100%.
Does it not? And I know that, but I think that's why, the Marine Corps specifically, when it came to leadership principle or leadership traits,
We all know JJ did tie buckle.
JJ
but-
did tie buckle.
but that's, hey man, they put unselfishness on there for a reason.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think there's freedom and there's liberation found in doing for others and being that friend. I've said this before on here that Maya Angelou said one time to her son, he was having trouble making friends, and she said the best way to make a friend is to be a friend. And it sounds like you do that, and it gives you that external purpose. And I'm actually going through these notes right now because there's an article on from the
American Psychological Association, the APA.
anybody who takes college knows that fucking acronym APA real well, because that's how you have to cite all your fucking papers and shit. But there's an article called Building Your Resilience on there, and one of the topics that they talk about and how to build it, they emphasize that it's just like a muscle. Like, we can't just do one workout and expect to stay in shape. You're fucking high. You can't just eat one healthy meal and expect to have a healthy body. It's not going to happen like that. You have to continue to build upon that and continue to sustain. But another thing they say on here is to reach out and to help others. And when it says in here as something as small as volunteering at a homeless shelter can give someone that sense of purpose, right? But like you said, the volunteer network. You can do that with S&P. You can do that. I know at USO, they always need people to help out.
Yeah.
They always need people to help out. With the local chapel here, it doesn't have to be for religious reason, but they do a lot of good things for people. You can go talk to a chaplain whenever. They need people to help out with the Awana programs they have, but they also need people to help fix the lending locker, the food locker they have, and things like that. There are just ways to get outside of yourself and to potentially help others. It could just be something as simple as what I saw you doing the other day, man, at the Northside 7-Day. That shit gets wild over there. Holy shit.
Yeah.
The attire that people come into there is not appropriate at all, but I'm not going to be that guy. But you were in the inappropriate civilian attire, so thank you for that. And you were getting a beverage for somebody. And that's a small fucking thing, man. But when you're on duty, 24-hour post,
Yeah.
man, an energy
Just
drink,
sucks, yeah.
it just fucking helps so much, man.
Yeah, it does.
And I'm not trying to be like, well, then I gave him a lollipop, and then he was happy, and guess what? I was happy too. I'm not trying to come off like that, but my whole point is that when you give, you receive. So there's ways to get outside of that room. Even trauma you've been through. You alluded to earlier, I'm not going to dig. It's all voluntary as far as the information we want to divulge, but you said that when you were going through something, you now look back on that and say you want to be the person that you needed at that time.
Yeah. So I could bring it up right now if you don't mind.
No, it's totally voluntary, man. Everything we speak on here, this is why we call it real talk.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So this is gonna be a long story. Well, I'll try and sum it up as much as I can, but it's a very, I think it's a very good story, like especially for this occasion, this situation of resiliency, because I feel like this story that I'm about to describe kind of describes that and gives an example as to why it's so important. And it's a big example. It's it really defines resiliency, like just in its own way. And I'm not saying it now, but like, this is something that happened to me, and it's a very sensitive topic, and it's very sometimes it might be hard to listen to, but it's definitely something that helped me, and it's brought me to where I am now today, and I'm better now because of it. I'm still here now because of it. So, all right, yeah. So, the story. So this happened actually when I first came here, back in October. I originally came in October, right? And I was I was having a good time. I was like, oh wow, yeah, I'm in Japan. This is great. And finally got to my squadron, right? And it was just in short term, like I could run through it, but like in the gist of it, it was just a lot of it. I'm not saying any of this to like say how bad certain things that other squadrons do, but it's just my experience personally. I'm not saying any other like external
Gotcha, man. It's
meaning.
real talk. Y'all know what
Yeah.
he means. He's not saying anything specific to anybody, but he's explaining his truth, his experience.
Yeah, my experience. Exactly. Thank you for saying that. So, pretty much, my experience was just me going in, first checking in, and just trying to just figure things out. And I, though, in a short term, I can explain it. It just felt like I was just thrown to the wolves, where it was just like, all right, here's your shit. All right, let's go. Here's all the other places you need to go to. All right, here you go. And now you got to be at this place at this time. You go to this place. Oh yeah, don't forget to go to this place. This is very important. But this place is also very important. I'm like, oh, Jesus
Fuck,
Christ.
everything's fucking important? What do you mean?
Yeah, everything's fucking important. And I'm like, I'm only one person. It's like I feel like I have to do it every single, especially with that, like what I like to describe as Marine Corps mindset of, hey, you get something you need to do. All right, you have to do it now. And that I need to do it now with like 50 different things. I need to do it now. Is like, God damn, all right, I got to do everything in one day.
It just depends on what was the source of telling you, like what the important thing was.
Yeah, for real. It's like, okay, who's more important, my this rank or this rank, you know?
Yes, it's true. It's true.
So, but that's pretty much how it went. So then we fast forward a bit to like November-ish, and I get to a point where I'm already not feeling too well. I'm already not feeling too mentally good, mentally stable. It's kind of overwhelming now at this point, but I was pretty much almost done with like our because like our sheets, our check-in sheet is like it's like a bunch of like things that you need to
Tons of little
ton of
boxes.
little
You
boxes
need to get shitty initials in, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, shitty signatures, right? And I was almost done with it, and I was like, okay, this is important. This is what I need to do now. But then I remember the day still. It was November 8th, right? And it was a Monday, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go bring my check-in sheet. And then I came in, and I was like, oh wait, I forgot it, right? I'm like, oh shit. So then I let my leadership know, and then I was like, okay, go get it back. And then I went to go get it back, and then I find out that I lost it. I couldn't find it, you know? And I was like, well, fuck.
Just remember, we're still in the 1700s with check-in sheets. So
Yeah.
if you lost that, it's like,
Yeah.
What do you now? You're not checked into shit.
Yeah, you know, now it's like a bunch of other things. And like I said, I was already going through a bad day. Like that day, I just woke up feeling really bad, and like the check-in sheet in itself was the stressor for me. And I was like, oh, I need to get this done. And like I was just not feeling too well. And so, all right, so this is the breaking point. So like, at that moment when I lost my check-in sheet, so like I said, I wasn't feeling too well. I wasn't feeling very good, like mentally at all. I was already feeling pretty shitty, and then just the nonstop buildup of all that stress on top of the check-in and just me not being good was just the breaking point for me. So I had Xanax sleeping pills that originally was used to help me sleep, right? But for me, it was a very impulsive thing to do. I say this again, it was a very impulsive thing to do. I'm not saying I did it because of whatever reason. I'm not doing it because the Marine Corps made me do it, or because the government or I believe like other things that like it was my own decision. It was a very impulsive decision, right? And I just took all of them.
Holy shit.
I took all of them. and like I think it was like 30 pills or something, right? So then I like it's funny because I looked at the mirror in my room in my barracks, and I was just like, holy shit, I actually did that. I like stared at the mirror for like 5 minutes, and then I think I actually went to the 7 day, and I got because I thought, oh, like it's this is dark to say, but I remember I looked up, does sleeping pills make you overdose? So yes, it was a suicide attempt, right? And I went to the 7 day and actually got some Tylenol, and I took some of those. And then after that, after all was done, I just went back to work like nothing ever fucking happened. And it's funny because like I'm gonna bring it back to why I got medevaced. So I got off the bus. There's a bus that goes around our station, and I got off the bus, and I got up and I was like, oh, I'm feeling a little woozy, and then I like stumbled off the bus a bit, and then I think there was a Marine. I don't know their name, but um, whoever that was, thank you very much. You probably saved my life. But I just stumbled, and they said, "Hey, you good?" And then I just collapsed on the ground. I couldn't feel anything below my lower body. I was numb. I was shaking. I was just I just couldn't move. It was a really surreal experience. And right there in that moment when I was on the ground lying down, just couldn't move. My legs were numb. I just instantly regretted what I did. And within honestly, yeah, within like 5 minutes, I was surrounded by like 50 people, and I was like, God damn, yeah, this is like it was. Looking back at it, I was like, yeah, that it was really cool actually that there were so many people that just rushed out to help, right? And so I got to the hospital, and then I won't get into too much details about at medical or at the hospital, right? But like eventually they told me that I'm gonna get medevaced. So my story of getting medevaced was I was supposed to leave that week or the next week. So then I ended up going to Okinawa to be put in a ward, psych ward. Then I went to from Okinawa. I went to Japan. I went to I think it was Tripoli. I think the Tripoli Army Medical Center it was called. And then from there, I ended up going to San Diego, where I think it was just Navy San Diego Medical Center,
Yep.
where Miramar was. And the whole time, like that's just the fast forward version, but like the whole time I'm thinking I'm gonna get medically separated, because suicide attempts, like is far away from home, in Japan, and I mean, there's not been any medical record of me having like any mental illness or depression or anything like that. But the whole time I was thinking, yeah, like I remember the nurses I talked to and the doctors I talked to. Was like I asked them like straight up, like, hey, like, am I gonna get med-sept? And they're like, honestly, I don't even know. I'm like, okay, well, they're probably just saying that to be nice.
Because there was a fear for you.
Exactly, yeah.
You didn't want to actually be medically
No,
separated.
absolutely not. Like I said, as soon as that happened, I instantly regretted my decision. So, pretty much, I was in San Diego for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I was gone actually shorter than I thought I was. I was gone for like 19 days, and I was like, hey, no way, that's crazy. The longest I spent though was in Hawaii. Because I was in the psych ward for like 3 weeks, which by the way is not fucking fun. Hope no one ever listening to this, anyone at all, anyone that I know has to live in a psych ward for more than 3 weeks. It's worse than boot camp. They strip you of everything, But regardless,
And that's obviously to protect you, right?
Yeah. No, I don't understand why
they
did it.
For you in that state, though, you're like, damn, I ain't got nothing, right?
Yeah, obviously I know why they did it. So I'm not saying that
Right.
because it's like, oh, I can't believe they did this. No, obviously they have their reasons for it.
I got you.
Like, you don't know what they're gonna do, so therefore it's like, hey, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to do
Protect
this.
somebody
Yeah,
from themselves sometimes, yeah.
exactly. So then I was there, and I remember I was with my NMA at the time, who when because eventually I did leave that psych ward in Hawaii.
So the NMA is the battle buddy that you had to go with, right? So kind of you don't get lost.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So then I eventually got back to San Diego, and then that was like the whole time in Hawaii, I was like, okay, yeah, this is where I'm gonna find out whether or not I'm gonna get separated or I'm gonna stay in. Which I was like, I think I'm gone. I was like in my head, I'm thinking, what am I gonna do? Like I was already expecting me to get out. I was like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this and that. But eventually, got to San Diego, and then that's where they're going to decide on what to do from there. They're going to decide whether I was going to be outpatient or inpatient, which for those who don't know, inpatient means they're still going to take care of you medically, and then eventually you'll get out, or I think that's how it works. But they'll determine in the actual hospital whether or not what they're going to do. And then outpatient is, hey, this person is good to be taken care of, outside of medical or the hospital. So then someone else can just look after him. We'll leave it to you guys, pretty much.
Right.
So it's either we'll take care of them or you.
Follow up
with
stuff, but they don't need
appointments.
to be located there residentially to undergo the care. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So then, I was, yeah. Honestly, that brings up another thing. So like at that my experience at the San Diego Medical, they determined that I was good, and I was like, I was good. Like, I'm good. Keep in mind that my suicide attempt was like a week before this happened, where they said, oh, yeah, he's good now. He's fine. And then it's like, we have follow-up appointments, and it's like this and that, and it's like, all right, cool, that's it. Like, just, like that's all well and good, but it's just the way they said it, It's just like, okay. Like, that's it? Like, it's just, it was in my head, I'm like, that's it? Like, I just went through a very traumatizing experience, and now it's just like, okay, cool. We'll have this and that. All right, bye. And yeah, like I didn't like at that time. It was like, okay, so wait, where am I gonna go now? Because when I got Medivaced, I didn't have a government travel charge card, which for those who don't know is a card that the government gives you so you can use to pay for travels and stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't have one at the time because I didn't finish checking in.
You just got here.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So I didn't have one at the time. I was actually in the process of doing that.
Right.
But basically, I was like, well, what am I gonna do? My NMA was like, yeah, where is he gonna go? And he's like, I don't know. Like, he could stay with you. And I'm like, wait, so you didn't have a plan of where I wanted to go after you released me? And they're like, well, I didn't say that, but in my head, I'm thinking that.
They didn't give you like orders or anything to go back to Japan or.
Not at all.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I didn't.
So just kind of like figure it out.
It was kind of a figure it out. They kind of gave me like an idea of what my treatment was going to be like, but they never said, "Are you going to go back?" or
Gotcha.
that you're going back. It was just like,
So you just kind of left.
we're gonna treat you.
Yeah.
We're gonna be treating you, but we don't know if you're going back yet. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Wow.
But yeah, I'll wrap it up in a second. But
No,
like,
you're good. This is us being honest, and we're trying
Yeah.
to explain and express things, and I'm grateful for you sharing it. Like
Yeah.
sincerely, like I'm grateful for you even wanting to share this.
yeah.
Go ahead, please.
But it's like my NMA was just like, all right, well then I guess you will stay with me, but yeah, we don't know if you're going back yet. So then I was in San Diego in a hotel, a really nice ass hotel, by the way. So yeah, shout out to I forgot the name of it. I think it was Sheraton in San Diego, the name of the hotel. But I was there.
Motel 6 or something. I was like, wow, all right, man.
No. But I was there for like, I want to say a week at the most, a week and a half, I'd say. And then eventually my NMA tells me, hey, you're going back. And I'm like, wait, actually? Yeah, I've been talking to Sergeant Major, and I've been talking to a bunch of people. I'm talking to Dr. Fernandez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great dude.
He's a great dude, great man, great guy. I've been talking to them. I've been talking to this person, and we're gonna just we're gonna try and get you back. I'm like, wow.
So your fears didn't come to fruition
Mm-hmm.
of being separated and getting quote unquote kicked out, right?
Mm-hmm. And eventually, I find myself back here on base again. And I remember I was I was terrified of walking back into my shop because, no one at least I didn't at the time, I didn't know anyone at my squadron knew about it.
Yeah.
Or knew about what happened. I preferred not to keep it that way.
Yeah,
Or
and
I
we're
prefer
not,
to keep
we're
it that
not
way.
supposed to like, hey, guess what happened?
Yeah, guess what
Exactly,
happened, yeah.
But to raise awareness and to be aware of, hey, one of our brothers just had this happen to him. Of course, word gets around in some form or fashion, but you were afraid of like a gossipy type sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just like, oh no, what's gonna happen? But then regardless, I won't get too much into detail about what my experience was like getting back, but pretty much the main point I wanted to get across was just that after going through such a traumatizing experience for me personally, and yeah, going through a dark time of all of that bullshit, I remember like in the psych ward, I'm like, God damn, this sucks, dude. I was just like, geez, it's just bad. But it also made me realize that, you know, how much I value small things. Like to just have just my phone taken away, or like being stripped of, or being getting my personal belongings taken away from me.
He didn't say stripped. He said stripped of.
Stripped
All right,
of,
see,
yeah.
what happened there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was stripped of all of my personal belongings, and yes, that includes my clothes as well. And
But you were issued some clothes.
I
You
was
weren't walking around
yeah,
naked. All
we
right.
were
He was
issued
not walking
clothes.
around naked, folks. Okay, good to go.
Yeah, we were issued clothes. You know, they took care of us. They took care of us like normal people, but you know, we were just stripped. Okay, taken from all of our personal belongings. We were not stripped naked. We had clothes on. You know, they didn't dehumanize us. No, they were taking care
We
of
don't
us.
laugh, we'll cry. Okay.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
right.
but pretty much like my main point was just like how much I value stuff, just the small things. How much I value just having my own room. How much I value just being on my own, because I was with like 4 other people at the time, and sometimes even more. I actually met some actually pretty cool people there, which sounds weird to say, but
No.
I met some pretty cool people. Some were also service members. I don't remember what branch, but they were also some military members just trying to live it up. They were trying to survive and live life, right?
That's right.
And like to me, like I said, that scenario and that just situation, like despite all of that, despite everything, all the bullshit, all the bad things, all the bad thoughts, all the negative energy, all that one attempt, right? You know, I still eventually made it back here, and I'm here, and I'm living it up, and I'm trying my best. You know, obviously, it's a work in progress for it. You know, I'm still getting help for it. I'm still dealing with. It's still pretty recent too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not like a thing that goes away overnight, but I'm still trying my best. I'm better now because of it, and like I said, I relate it back to resiliency because, you know, like I said before at the beginning, like resiliency is just a term you could use when you just, despite everything that's thrown at you, all the adversity, all the bad stuff, you still manage to get back up. It doesn't even matter how you get back up. Sometimes you just need to take the first 2 steps, and that first 2 steps can just be getting on your feet.
But it gives you that momentum, maybe?
Gives you that momentum to
continue?
just keep going. Like, okay, I'm up. I can't go back down now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like all of that now is behind me, right? Like it's
Good for you, man.
it's behind me. It happened. I'm not gonna ignore that it happened, but
Right.
it happened. It's still there. You know, it's still in my mind. But you know what? We're learning now. We're being better now.
That's right.
We're learning now about myself. We're being better because of it. And even though it sounds bad, like that experience helped me a lot in like
No, it doesn't
how
sound bad at
much
all.
how
Doesn't
much
sound
of
bad
a resilient person I am, even though I didn't believe it.
Oh, that's
like,
beautiful. I'm glad
all
you're
of that.
sitting here.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that you're sitting here, man.
Yeah, it's crazy because I remember I told my parents and my brother. My brother is also is also in the service, right?
Oh, I love that he said that, service, folks. He said service. That's an old school term right
Yes,
there.
sir.
Too often we say military nowadays, but service, in the service. That's a serve. That's an action verb. Think about that, service members. We're here to serve. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
service members. Yeah, he's also. I remember I had to. That was a rough conversation, you know, because as far as my family knew, like I was just gone in another country.
And you'd only been
without
here for
any
what, like 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah. I didn't have a way to contact them back until I got my phone back. Or actually, until I went back to the United States for like a couple weeks.
So you boot camp, the job school, you went home at some point during
Yeah.
during that thing. We usually get, what, 10 days or so?
10 days.
Yeah. So outside of that, you come to a foreign country, and man, I'm so grateful. I really am that you're here, right? And that what occurred, you were able to physically recover from, and it wasn't the end of you, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just so grateful that the means in which you used in your attempt, because if somebody uses, let's say, a weapon, or if somebody attempts to do it in some other way, you can't just kind of get that out of your system.
Yeah.
Like you're gone, right? You can't just remove a round or something like that. So I'm grateful that you're not that it wasn't a permanent situation.
Yeah.
That you were able to see right then and there, and it made me think, man, because we're talking real here. When you said as soon as you did it, you were like, "Fuck, what did I just do?" Basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you regretted doing it. I wonder how many people would take their lives or make an attempt in other ways, and they say the brain isn't dead, the body, all that kind of stuff. Like, how many of them are also thinking, "Fuck, I wish I didn't fucking do that."
Exactly.
Right? And this is where you were sober. It was a normal day.
I was not sober. I was not drunk. No, it was a very sober, like I said, very intentional but impulsive decision. That's what I'd like to say.
Now, and we talked about this with Oscar, right? And I'm just trying to understand, because I think, look, I've had a suicide attempt before. I happened to be drinking. And there was some other times I think I attempted. I woke up, there was some stuff there, like, whoa, I guess I tried to do that. And to be honest, my wife hid weapons from me in our home. And because I guess when I was so intoxicated, I was kind of like going to use them on myself, not others. But everyone has their own, that goes through these things. Everyone has their own, we say it, the QR code on the end of our fingers. But you were obviously dealing with a lot leading up to then, right? And this is where I said, everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Now, did you want to be babied at all in that situation? No. He doesn't want to be babied, but like he said, thrown to the wolves. I can't forget that a great friend of mine, my man Rodney out in California, recently retired. And in his speech at his retirement, he said that he was, some people get into their speeches and they brag about themselves, but he said, hey, for these young ones that come in, we send them to SIF, which is where they get their gear. He said, we send them to medical, we send them to dental, and then we send them to the field, which is essentially the mission. And it's crazy because you weren't there for that speech, but it's exactly what you feel like you just described, right? And we just don't know what other people are going through. And when you said you wish you'd have had somebody to check in on you or to be that friend to you, what could have made a difference for you at that point? Because you were obviously under a lot of stress, right? And stress affects everyone differently. That's the thing I want everybody to understand too. So you were in a cloud of some type of not good place, and not good judgment, because an impulsive thought became an impulsive action, became almost the end of you.
Yep.
What could have helped, as far as what you said earlier about that friend that you may have needed?
The help I'm getting from my therapist and all the people that I met throughout that whole experience has always told me that, in general, what you do need for most, like when you're just in that spot, is just like a structure. So a structure of people, like an acronym I like to use is like a village. So like
Ooh, it takes a village.
It takes a village. You got a village of just people, of support systems, of just things to do, things to live for. It goes on and on. Everyone has their own reasons, but like a structure, okay, who can I reach out? Who's like the people that are always going to be there for you no matter what? Like some it's family, some it's the people in service. Sometimes it's your friends, it's different for everyone. Like just having a structure of people, or rather a support system, but I just like to call it a structure.
No, it's good. But it is a structure in itself. It's something solid in your life. What you're essentially saying, the community and the village.
Community, yeah. The village, the community of just random shit that, whether it's things or people or places, to just help you whenever you need it. Like whenever this part of the structure of this support system doesn't work, there's another part of it. That's why it's a structure, because in
Right,
case one part breaks off, unless like there's some other some random extraordinary event that happens, there's always going to be something else beneath that,
Yeah.
because you're going from the top. Like, if you think of it a structure, like if you're going from the top of it, usually it's not going to break down.
Yeah.
If you want to break down a structure, you're going to cut it off from the bottom, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Metaphorically speaking. But like from
The
the top,
foundation, yeah, yeah.
exactly. Unless you destroy the foundation, everything else above the foundation won't break off.
Yeah.
Not as easily, anyway.
That's why they like talk about like that 4 pillars though, like where we talk about the physical,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mental, the social, and the spiritual. And well, I think the metaphor we used, we did the push-ups, right? And Oscar, right? And
Yeah.
you had somebody come up there, like, yeah, I can do push-ups. And you have them do push-ups with all points of contact with 2 hands and then 2 feet. So that's to represent the 4 points of contact. And then you say, okay, great, he or she did a great job. And then you say, okay, now take away one of those: physical, mental, spiritual, or social. And people make their choices, and we say, okay, we'll take off one. And then we tell the same individual, now do push-ups with only one hand.
Only one hand.
And then, or I think we do one hand, whatever.
Yeah.
We eventually cut it down, folks, to paint the picture metaphorically that exactly what you said. You need those 4 pillars to hold up that structure.
Yep.
And when they're not there, maybe you'll be able to survive without one of them, because you can do one-hand push-ups or maybe one-legged push-ups, but you can't do no-hand push-ups. You can't do no-legged push-up. I mean, some people can. They're probably strong as hell, but how many of us are really that strong in those 2 areas? Or whatever?
Yeah, yeah.
And the metaphor is you kind of need all to be a fully function. There's no tables with 3 legs, or are there? I don't know, but it'd be, you know what I'm saying? And the whole idea is that that balance, that structure, like you're explaining. So if you don't mind me asking, what was it in your structure at that time, like in your pillars, and it doesn't have to just be the social or emotional or physical or mental, but what was going on with you to where anybody listening goes, dude, a fucking checkout sheet? You lost your checkout sheet and
So
you
then
almost
you
took
did
your
this?
life?
Yeah.
And I'm not dogging you, I'm not judging you for that. But when we talk about that wear and tear on people, right? You have that a catastrophic thing that feels catastrophic to them in that moment, but your judgment was already cloudy from everything else, the
Yeah.
stress levels and everything.
The buildup.
The buildup, exactly, right? And now this is, essentially that straw that broke the camel's back, and everybody's like, he's no longer with us because he lost his checkout sheet? No, right?
No, absolutely
There
not.
was more to that. And
Way
like,
more to it.
how can we avoid getting all of that? If you want to go in detail, you can, but how can someone avoid those things? Because now you're in touch with all of these agencies, and you got to see the response, and all those 50 people were around you. But
Yep.
some shit happened. How can we stay proactive and prevent someone from being in that same situation? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, something you could do to prevent that 50 people from,
It's
ever
great
happening in
50
the
people
first
were there, but it'd been
place.
great if they could have been there before that.
Before that, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, if I feel like the best way for people to be proactive about it is to just be honestly, just be more active about it.
About talking about these things?
I feel like it's a very taboo topic, whenever people bring up suicide or mental health, it's like people kind of sometimes I've seen just shrug it off, as bad as it sounds.
Yeah,
But
it's true though,
it's just
man.
oh yeah, it's another mental health class. Or
Here we
it's
go,
like,
another
here we go.
PowerPoint, motherfuckers. Here we
Yeah,
go.
here
Let's
we
do our.
go.
Everybody sign a roster. Hey, make sure y'all sign that roster.
Yeah, so I feel like it can definitely help more by just a good thing that I feel like people could do to just be there more for people is to just like what I did before last time was just hey duty, you want anything? Building that connection with other people.
So here's a man that almost took his life, not even, 6 months ago? Not even, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to bring it and to throw it in your face, but I'm saying within 6 months later, you're already like, I wonder if this person is thirsty.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal, man. Like and some people go, oh my God, what, he bought somebody a drink? But no. You were in this state to where you didn't want to be alive anymore
Yeah.
in that moment, that impulsive decision.
Yeah.
Obviously regret it after it occurred, but within 6 months, you're already like, hey, I'm gonna be there for somebody else. I'm gonna be there for somebody else and just have those conversations, check in on these other people.
Build those connections, exactly.
And now you're like an ambassador. Are you not? You're a survivor.
I've never
bro.
thought about it like
You're
that,
a
but
survivor.
yeah.
You're an ambassador of what made a difference for you and how you can help others. And when you first got here, were you ignorant to some of those things, those resources and stuff, that you could have maybe pursued? I don't know, because it's hard to be in. I'm trying to understand it. In that position leading up to lost the checkout sheet, now I want to take my life. At that moment, were you ignorant to things you could have reached out to? Did you feel like you couldn't reach out to somebody? Like, I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah, no. So it definitely was like it definitely was a internal thing. It wasn't like the resources were there. I was there to listen to all of those resources,
Right.
all those things. Like I said, it was just more of it was mainly a me thing. I feel like I needed to just learn that way that it's not you shouldn't be afraid, because I was definitely ignorant, as you said. I was definitely like, I could do this, I can handle this, or
Well, you weren't ignorant as in lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, you knew what the things were, but you're saying like ignorant. Like,
Yeah,
you was being like,
ignorant.
I don't need the help.
yeah, exactly, yeah. No.
You were saying, I mean, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but essentially, you knew what the places were, but you were like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah, pretty much. I was just like, hey, here's your thing, and I'm like, oh no, it's okay, I got it. It's like when someone asks you, hey, it's like I don't know a good example, but yeah, I was given a lot of these things, a lot of things handed to me, but I just didn't take them. I was just like, I got this, I can do it.
Until you didn't.
Until I didn't, yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
then it's just I fell victim to that, and it was bad that it happened. But like it's the thing. That's the thing though, is that for me it was just a me thing. Like all the things were there.
Yeah.
The people did their part. I didn't do my part. So that's where the issue was.
I'm so thankful that you said that, because one of the things I try to talk about, because in the suicide prevention that I do, or the efforts to try to prevent it, I'm not saying you know what I mean, but it's just the efforts that we try to make. I often say, like, help us help you, because as well intentioned as we may be, we're not mind readers. Like
Yeah.
we're just not mind readers. So
For real.
we of course, hey, how you doing, man? I'm good, right? Like that's walking past each other. Like the normal thing to do in our social structure is to be like, I'm good. How are you? What's up?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that's nobody's gonna be like, well, actually, I've got a lot of wear and tear going on right now.
No, I got something going.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck! I was just saying hi. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
so,
shit.
So I get that, but we gotta check in on each other, and I feel like we shouldn't just talk about this shit in September and Suicide Awareness Month and all that kind of stuff. Like, it has to be a continuing conversation to allow people to understand that it's okay to not be okay and to speak up, but this is to the point of what General Neller said in that mental wellness letter. The exact scenario you just described, and I feel so loud about this right now. I'm sorry for the listeners if I'm hurting your eardrums, but because you may not be here right now, man.
Yeah, I could not have been here.
And I could just see the effect you've had on others in the few months of me knowing you. And I had no idea about this scenario. I swear to God, I had no idea of any of this that you just described. But
not a lot of people do, yeah.
But and nor should I, right? That's your business. That's your medical history. That's you, right? But in what I've seen for myself and knowing you, I've been nothing but impressed. But I had no idea that this occurred with you, right? So and back to I'm eating my own words. You never know what somebody else is going through,
Exactly.
unless they express it to you, or unless you take the time to have the conversation to know it, right? And that doesn't mean we can sit down and express everybody's full history every single second of the day.
No.
But to give a fuck, to care about
just
each other
care,
more, and to make sure people know that, as in General Neller's letter on mental wellness, he said, it is okay not to be okay. But what is not okay is to ignore your wellness, your mental health, to the point to where you make an irreversible decision that leaves behind teammates, family, Marines, and I'm paraphrasing this, so I might be messing up the line. Sorry, sir. But the essential sense of what he's saying, it's okay not to be okay, but what's not okay is what you did. And literally what I did too, which is ignore and say, I got it.
I got it, yeah. I don't got it.
I know these resources. I know I can go to these places. Got it. I got the brief or whatever. To not use it, and then now,
it's like, oh well, now I need it.
but you've already made that irrational, impulsive decision.
Yeah.
And you could have potentially left us behind. And your pain ends, but everyone else's begins. And that's not to throw it in your face or anything like that, but it's just, I don't think that our mind is not there in the right way, as far as, not like we're crazy or anything, but our judgment is not there to full degree because of the stress that we're under. And it could be just that one checkout sheet, or that one text message,
tipping stone,
or that one little thing that occurs that it's like, you know what, I don't want to be here anymore, and they make that impulsive decision. And I'm so glad that what you decided to do didn't happen.
Yeah, no, it's sometimes I'm just like, holy shit, yeah. Like, especially like after I got back here, I was like, damn, I could have not been here today. At the time, it kind of like it kind of hit me a little bit, but honestly, now, like, I don't know if it's because I've just learned to live with it or just grown from it, but honestly, just when I think about it, it's like, yeah, it happened, and that's it, you know?
And you shouldn't be ashamed of it because we are what we do today. And I love you know what I really love, Justin, is and this is not to kiss your ass. This is to be honest, man. This is to be totally honest, man.
Nah.
You, everything I heard in here was personal ownership. Like you owned it. You said that occurred. It's behind me. You said, you know, everyone around you, to as best they could, tried to provide the right things. But even then, you still chose to do these things. You still.
Yep.
And I look back at me and I go, I have beautiful children. I have an amazing wife. I have you know, I don't know if I'm that good at it, but I have a job, right? A career, a job of service, right? I was going to throw all of that away, man. Like, and I look back and I go, how the fuck? Like, if anybody knows me, you're like, this dude was suicidal. Like, what the fuck? And I even look at myself, I'm like, how the fuck was I suicidal, right? Like, I really do, but I also know that it was real, and that's not to say everybody feels sorry for me or say, you're so brave. We're not trying to do that. But somebody is well put together. You already expressed that you had good parents, good family, good brother, good friends.
Yep.
Come from a good place. You come from the Golden State, man, Eureka and shit, right? California. Coming in with a good reason to serve his country, gets 2 weeks into the real deal, and you thought to go that route. And then you're looking at, I'm not saying me, at the time I was at, like, I was a veteran of a couple of years, had been overseas, survived, and then there I am in that withered state of mental judgment, and I decided to go that route. And I look back, and just like you did, and you go, how the fuck?
Yeah, wow.
But we did. We were. And now we're survivors, victors, not victims, but we're here to hopefully take our messes and make them messages. And I don't draw on my experience to say, hey, everybody, I want to tell about my experience too. That's not at all what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to say that anybody looking outside will go, there's two strong, able-bodied men, warriors, Marines, artists, because we try to dabble in the arts, right, who got it all together.
Yeah.
And two people didn't so much have it all together, folks.
Yeah.
On at least one day. We know that.
We faked it until I actually couldn't make it.
And that's what I want, and I think that's what General Neller was the intent of what he's saying. Obviously, we all always got to be aware of each other, but also us as individuals. And that's why I'm so proud of you and what you expressed. We had no lead up to this. I try not to give a script or anything, because I wanted to be honest. I wanted to go where it goes and people to express what they want to express. But
Keep it real.
we have to check in on ourselves and realize maybe I'm not so fucking well right now, and maybe I should utilize some of these resources. And that's not to, hey, have a secret. This man, I love what you said too, because in your attempt and you realized, oh shit, I'm so glad that didn't happen, I didn't pass. But also, you weren't trying to get kicked out. You weren't trying to get an early ticket home to California. You were like, fuck, I want to stay in. You know what I mean? So it's just, man, I'm just so grateful for your outlook. And then for, again, something as small as not even 6 months later, this dude's up here on stage expressing himself, helping others. I see him with a fresh haircut, in shape, right? But on a Friday, I saw you at the store going to buy a drink for a month. Did you even know the motherfucker on duty?
I did, actually.
Okay, he knew him. All right, so you're not Mother Teresa. But, hey, but you were being there for somebody else.
Yeah.
And man, I hope people understand what I'm saying. I know I kind of sound a little crazy right now, but not even 6 months from surviving such an incident, you're thinking about other people. That's fucking beautiful, man. That's what the fuck this whole life is about, man.
Yeah.
And I have it right here on this thing, Jim Carrey. You know I'm an aspiring comedian. I try.
Hell yeah.
But the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. The effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. And I'm also looking at a quote from General Neller, where he says, lead like you want to be led. But also, you got to lead yourself, too. And we failed to do that. I think it's, I don't want to say especially, but very often as alpha types, or what the status quo or the stereotype or the archetype is of these military people, Marines at that, right? I got this. I'm going to be there for somebody else, but I got this. I got this. But do you?
Yeah.
But do you?
That's a big question.
And as leaders, sometimes when we seek out that help, I think CJ said it on our first episode, when they can see the other ones see that, oh shit, Staff Sergeant or Gunnery Sergeant or Captain or Sergeant Major or General or Colonel or whoever is seeking help. It's not like, oh, they're trying to get attention. No, it sets a good example. To say they're checking in on themselves, man.
Yeah, you know, you can't. What I remember when my time during that whole thing is that a lot of experience or a lot of quotes that I was told from one particular individual that I remember about all of that is that you can't fill someone else's cup with water, if your cup is empty, you know. So
Did you
it's
listen to
like-
our episode? I just posted that shit like 30 Did you listen to the episode we had the other day?
No, I did
You
not.
didn't,
actually.
because it just posted like right before we met here, right?
Oh, wow.
But no shit. Shout out to Coach Chan, Miss Dre. She was talking about teacup. You can't pour from an empty cup. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
damn, look at this
Look
shit.
at
We full
that.
circle.
Yeah.
We did not plan this shit, folks. This
Yeah,
is just real people keeping it real, talking some real resilience talk.
Yes, sir.
But you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah, it's true. You can't.
How many of us are doing that though?
No. I don't know, but it's probably more than I can count, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I was definitely victim to that, and I'm sure a lot of other people are as well. But, you know, just that saying really opened my eyes to like, well, yeah, like shit, I can't help people and do what I want to do and what my purpose I believe is if I don't take care of myself, right? I got to fill my own cup first before I can do the purpose that I believe I should do for other people.
And how are some ways? Because we want to leave people with some tangible things.
So good
Some ways that you fill your cup.
good ways to fill my cup is to sometimes just go out for a walk on my own. Or
Get outside.
Just get outside.
Get some vitamin D.
Get some vitamin D. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go outside, walk around, go see Japan. You know, I'm in a foreign country that I've never seen before, and I love Japanese culture. So you know, hey, just go out, go meet some people, or like I mentioned before, the volunteer events. I actually met some dope ass people.
Not as in drugs, but we mean dope as in cool.
Dope as in cool. Yeah, dope is the new cool. You know, dope is the new cool. I don't
Nah, it's
know
been
why.
around for a while. I'm a little
Yeah.
old. It's been there. Yeah.
Dope is the new cool, yeah. But yeah, at the volunteer event yesterday, we went to this English cafe down by the Ikuni station,
Yeah.
and we met some. So basically, I actually really like this environment. So pretty much, it's an environment of where you got people from all over Japan. Some people from here in Iwakuni, Yamaguchi, or some people. I remember there's one girl that came from like Hiroshima, and I'm like, God damn, girl, came all the way over here just for this.
And what is this?
So this English cafe, so it's an environment where there's a bunch of other service members with Japanese locals, whether, like I said, it's from Hiroshima, Iwakuni, Tokyo. I think there was one from Tokyo, and I was like, geez, why'd you come here?
Right.
But anyways, like, it's like...
You're in Tokyo. How come here?
Yeah. So it's like, so there's some of them are learning English, or some of them already speak English, or they're just brushing up and trying to learn English. Or for us, like, hey, I'm trying to learn Japanese. So we pretty much, there's tables set up all over the place, and we just sit down with like all these Japanese locals, and we just have conversation about literally fucking anything. It could be about, I think the
Did you
topics
speak
were-
in their tongue?
Well, I
or-
tried to.
Oh, I got you. So, but that's the idea, is to speak in
Yeah.
their native tongue, you speak in your native tongue. And
Yeah, or they just know how to speak English and just have that, or just know, like, sometimes they could just speak English and we could just talk about like your culture, our culture, what we like, what you like, how you do things
Wow.
here, how we do things there.
Yeah.
What movies do you like? What movies?
You think any of them are
do
just
you
like
like?
misleading you on purpose to make you do dumb shit?
I remember those times. I was like,
Wouldn't that be so funny though? Like they were like, "Hey, make sure you're loud on trains and make sure that you you walk and chew," which are total like don't do's. And
in Japan, yeah, make sure to be
But
loud.
They were like, "He knew. All right, I'm gonna fuck with him."
Yeah, there have been times when I said a whole Japanese phrase. I was like struggling. I was like, "Anata no suki na," and I was like, and I eventually finished. And it's like, "Oh, okay, I like." And she spoke in perfect English.
Made you
Like,
feel stupid as
yeah, and I was
shit.
like, "Well, goddamn!" I just struggled my way to say the sentence in Japanese, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I know what you're saying." Like in perfect not perfect Japanese, like. Not perfect English, but like she understood. Like she replied in English. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, goddamn, okay. So
Yeah.
you speak English?
You're way better than me.
Yeah. See, you're already 10 steps ahead of me. But yeah,
Oh, man.
I got to meet some of those people. I got one of their she gave us her Instagram because I was with a bunch of other people that I knew as well.
You didn't like steal her credit report or anything, right?
No, she actually came to us. She was like,
Okay, cool.
she was like, hey, she was like, oh, picture, and I was just like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And we took a
Hell yeah.
picture, and she was like, you guys have Instagram? I'm like, all right. let's do it. And like that connection,
Building that
like
connection.
with
Man.
like just some random Japanese local. Like,
Yeah.
She was the one who came from Hiroshima, and I was like, you came all the way here, an hour by the train station, to come here for like a 3-hour event. And I'm like, wow,
man.
dude, like Japanese people, they're some of the most dedicated. Like,
oh, there's some great
nice
people out here. There's
Yeah.
some great humans out here, man. But I think it's so cool that, again, that experience yesterday, you connected some people. You have some new followers.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
We'll follow her.
Did you follow back?
Yeah, we're follow buddies.
I just
now.
learned that you had to do that shit. That
We're Instagram
that was
buddies
messing me
now.
up. My kids laugh at me all the time. But you wouldn't have found that sitting around
In my barracks. Yeah.
You wouldn't. You just wouldn't have, man. And
No.
I mean, it's to each their own. I'm not saying there's not a time and place to just rest and just binge out on Netflix. I watched the other night. I watched that fucking Sins of Our Mother shit on Netflix. I'm one of those people. I can't. You got to know yourself, man. I can't watch certain shit, man.
Yeah,
Like, you know.
no.
So, but there's a time and place to kind of veg out, right? But
Yeah.
we watched that whole shit. I was fucked up for like all day yesterday. I was fucked up until I got to go DJ an event, and I got some fuel in my tank, right?
All right, cool.
But
I gotta-
but I'm not one of those people that could watch shit like that and be like, okay, right? But are you one of those people that could just sit around the barracks and be okay?
Well, see, it's an interesting question because I feel like, for me, like doing that, as you mentioned before, like sitting in my barracks and just not doing anything. Like sometimes that's just what I need, and
Yeah,
sometimes
man.
it's really helped.
Yeah,
But at
hell
the
yeah.
same time, as you mentioned before too, it shouldn't be the only thing. Like there have been
Got you.
times I'm in my bed, I'm like, I should go do something. Like even if it's just to go get food. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
I'm gonna go get up and I'm not gonna order fucking pizza.
Yeah,
Like for the 10th time this week.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I think I got a problem
yeah,
now with these.
yeah. It's like, hey, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna walk to the exchange or the 7-Day and just get some food, like actual food, or I'll go to like the 7-Eleven. Like I'll go off there and I'll get some food, or hey, maybe I'll just go to like McDonald's, like something that just sometimes all you need is just to get out
Yeah.
of your room.
Yeah,
Like sometimes I'll be in my room, I'll be chilling, I'll just be cool with that, and I'll have a good time. But there are definitely times when I'm just like, yeah, I should get out. So
There's definitely times to rest
With
and
both
recover.
times,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, of course. But here's the thing I was really trying to say there was like mood follows action. A lot of us are like, I'll go for a walk when I feel like it. I'll get out and go make friends when I feel like it. I'll go work out when I feel like it. Guess what?
no.
You are not gonna.
You're not
always
ever
feel
gonna feel like it.
I love what
Yeah.
Joe. I love what Joe Rogan said one time. He's like, if I only worked out when I felt like it, I'd be a fat fuck.
Hell yeah, you would. No
And
one
that's not
wants
the-
to work out.
Like nobody wants to, but it's in all these things that are well for us, that are good for us. More times than not, like we got to do it when we don't want to do it. And that's where the discipline and that awareness of like your own personal structure and infrastructure in yourself comes into play, man. And we have to know ourselves and take the moment to reflect, to look inside, and kind of do an accountability or maybe inventory of how much is in your cup.
Yeah, yeah.
How
for
much is in
real.
your cup? And I know for myself, man, like I had a dream the other night. It was crazy that I can't even describe it all, but basically I was just overextended. And I realized it was God, the universe, whatever was telling me I need to slow the fuck down and kind of bring it in a little bit, reel it in. But I get strength. I get goodness off of going external, right? So sometimes I can bite off more than I can chew. But I know that about myself. It's not like I'm just now figuring that shit out, right? But for someone that doesn't know that about themselves and that's their first time encounter with it, well, maybe there's some other shit they're going through too, and then that's like the demise of them, right? You just don't know how much things are impacting others, and we don't know how much something hurts someone else. So it may just be something simple like, dude, what the fuck are you so stressed out about? But you don't know there's all this other shit going on too, and there's all this other shit that's been going on.
So much.
So this is a lot of shit, man. It
Yeah,
just
there's,
is.
There's
It's
so much
just
more beneath the surface sometimes.
so much, and I just, hey, we gotta let people know it's okay not to be okay, and nobody's asking. This is a strong dude right here. I mean, I'm serious. If y'all can see his art and his performances, man. It's outstanding, dude. It really is, and I applaud you. That takes a lot of courage to get up in front of people and perform like you do, and perform such fucking different instruments, and then like you played Carlos Santana one night and riffed
Hell
along with
yeah.
Carlos Santana,
Yes,
and then you
sir.
come in with what the fuck was it? The Kimbrel? What the fuck was that?
Oh, kalimba.
Kalimba, that motherfucker, right? That sounds like a weird new like version of Kalula or some shit. I don't know.
Here's chocolate kalimba.
Kalimba.
Yeah. Long story short, man. Even you though, in all your strength, still got to a point where you were going to make a permanent decision for temporary circumstances. And
Yep.
I think the main thing we want to drive home is check in on yourselves, check in on each other, man.
Always. Yeah. Like I said, be active. That's
Be
what I mean by
active,
that. It's
yeah.
just
Mood ain't gonna follow, mood follow action, not action follow mood.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do it when you feel like it.
yeah, like not active as in exercise, but like just active as in
What you mean, bro?
everything, you know? Like, hey, let me go check in and see how this guy's doing, or hey, this person looks like they're not having a good time, or hey, this person's sitting by themselves and I don't know them. Maybe I'll make a new friend, or hey, there's this event that's happening at the SMP that they're doing. Sounds pretty interesting. Or even maybe it doesn't sound even interesting. Like, hey, I'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like you said, like just saying, hey, let's do it. It's something to do. That's all you need. Like even if you don't believe it's gonna be like all that enjoyable, it's something to do. Like if anything, like even though you find like joy in like let's say playing video games or drinking all the time, like at the end of the day, you're eventually gonna get tired of it. Like I feel like that's something that people will eventually experience because it's just the same thing, and eventually you'll just realize it.
Or to feel normal, you have to do that.
Yeah, no.
Not to mention, already you talk about impulsive decision making and stuff like that. You may be already in a fucked up state already. Then you pour that on top, and well, there we
shit.
go 6 to 7 times more likely. I mean, we had a friend of the family recently killed themselves on FaceTime, drank themselves to death. Not literally, but drank themselves to the point where they thought hanging themselves at that moment was a good decision. And the sober mind probably would have never done that, right? That's not to judge anybody. That's not to diss. It's just to say if you're already going through some shit, don't add something like that that's going to impair your judgment even more to it. Can't say that enough. Can't express that enough. But like you're saying, get out, do shit, right? And that might just be that little bit, I'm going to go back to your word, of reassurance that you need. And you know what? Guess what? You didn't fully master the Japanese language yesterday. But did you learn something out of it?
Oh yeah, I learned like how to ask someone what's your favorite movie or
I don't
what's
know
your
how to say
favorite
that
TV
shit.
show.
I just know how to say arigato gozaimasu. That's about it, bro.
Yeah,
Konnichiwa.
I learned like some decent amount of things. I learned a lot about counting. Like I can get a bit more comfortable counting in Japanese. If you can count to 10, then you can count to 100 in Japanese because it's the same way. Like I'm sure other languages work, but like with counting, it's the same way in Spanish. Like if you just like you just add like the like ni. Like if you were to say 22, it'd be ni, juni ni, pretty much. I think that's right.
Yeah, that sounded right to me, man.
I could be completely wrong, but you know, I'm still learning about it. But like, it's pretty much just like you just add the beginning of the first number to the next number. So 2 2. Yeah.
Okay.
So like,
So it's like how we count phonetically, like when we're like 1 tree, 1 4, 1 5, 1 6.
Pretty much.
Over the radio, 1 7.
1 7. Yeah. No, like seriously. Yeah. It's if you can count to 10 in Japanese, then you can learn how to count to 100, and then after 100, I don't fucking know.
That's beautiful, man. That's cool. I mean, that's just something to keep you fulfilled, keep you something to be accountable to. Didn't make everything perfect, but I think another thing that we try to reemphasize on here is don't seek perfection for things, folks. Like, keep an open mind. Think about it like this. Is this going to make things worse? Nah, fuck it. I'll give it a try. It might just be what I need for that day, or I might just meet a new cool person. If you don't even know how to do June,
It's
all shit.
It's need you need. Yeah.
Need you need. If you don't know how to say need you need, which is 22.
Yeah, 22.
Right? He at least got a new follower on Instagram.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
Hold on. Let me.
Oh shit, he gonna Google this shit.
Damn it,
Oh,
I don't
we
have
got no
service.
service. We got no
Damn
service
it.
where we're at.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll double check, but it should be need you need. Fuck. And now I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I learned a lot of
Oh,
yesterday.
man.
What'd you learn? Okay, well now I feel like I don't have anything to show for it now.
Oh man, you got so much to show for it, dog. And
well, it's okay.
I'm truly grateful, bro, for you expressing what you've expressed, for just being here, man. Hey, Dr. Viktor Frankl said it. What is to give light must endure burning, right?
Ooh.
What is to give light
a good
must
one.
endure burning, right? I say that because you are a light, my man. You are a light to this world. I mean
Thank
that
you.
shit, man. Just you
I try,
fucking,
you know?
just you fucking singing the Beatles at night.
Yeah.
I play that shit still, man. I recorded it. I play that
Hell
shit still,
yeah.
man.
That's a good song.
I'd have never heard that. I would have never fucking heard that
That's
if that
true.
day would have went the other way. You know what I'm saying? And I know that other people feel the same way about various things about you, man. So I just keep pushing. You know you got a brother in me, right?
Thank you.
You're not alone. None of you out there are alone. But at the same time, man, I never knew this until you told me. And a lot of people didn't know what he was going through until it occurred.
Yeah.
And nobody knew what I was going through until things had occurred, and so on and so forth, right? Whole point being there is, man, people aren't mind readers. Help us help you, but I think for us that want to help, we can also do a better job of expressing to others that it's okay to seek help, to need help, because as Justin said, and as I'm saying too, none of us want to be babied.
Yeah, no.
None of us want to be coddled or say, here's the Nerf helmet for life. Nobody's trying to say that shit, all right? But what we are saying, I think we need to give a fuck about each other a little bit more and to check in. But it's not just checking in one time. It's not just that one fucking workout. It's not just that one time of doing the language or playing the guitar or what the fuck is it called?
The kalimba.
You gotta follow up and follow through and do it consistently to hopefully become the best you. And that shit rhymed. I'm using that shit at the next open mic. What's up?
Hell yeah.
But hey, man.
Open mic.
Open mic. Hey, if you want to see more of Justin, I'm telling you, do yourself a favor, come out and see this man at open mic. We do it out here in Iwakuni. We do it at YOLO. Shout out to DJ Buck for giving us that awesome space, man. I love it because it does feel like an old dirty ass comedy club sometimes.
Yeah,
I love,
it really does.
Because it's all blacked out like that.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
dirty in there, DJ Buck. I was just saying like the vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's grimy. I love it. But it's authentic. It's fucking real.
It is.
And then we do it on bass as well at a certain space, and we put that out. And then we're gonna actually do an outdoor one, man. You down to do that?
I actually will be gone this weekend.
Well, all right. Well, we're gonna do another one here real soon. We're gonna while the weather's on our side, man. Just do some outdoor live entertainment, man. But again, like I said, man, I just thank you so much for your time, for being candid, for being honest, for expressing your truth, and I'm so glad you did because it's just so much proof again that we never know what people around us are going through, folks. So be there for each other. Be there for each other. Be there for each other. And if you're the one hurting, just please know you're not alone, man. Don't choose a permanent solution for a temporary problem. Whatever it is, whatever the fuck it is, if it's a good day, guess what? Be grateful for it. But if it's a bad day, just remember, man, this too shall pass. You got anything to add, man?
I got one thing.
Tell 'em, man.
I
Tell 'em.
learned this one quote last time I saw my therapist. Hopefully I don't butcher it, but it's by Albert Einstein. So it's pretty much, we can't solve our own problems with the same way of thinking we used when creating them.
Oh, shit. Can you say it one more time? That's some good shit. Oh, shit.
Yeah, so Albert Einstein, I hope I didn't butcher that, but pretty much he said, we can't solve our own problems with the same way of thinking we used when we created that problem.
God damn. That's like the definition of insanity.
Yeah, because if you keep trying to say or solve a problem by doing the same thinking of how you used to get there, then, well, you're not going to progress in shit, honestly.
What the fuck you think's gonna happen?
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
just
it's like-
math with 2 F's.
Yeah, it's like when you try to add 2 + 2, and you're like, why isn't the answer 5? It's like, well, you're not fucking adding 2 and 2, right?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like-
a lot of us are doing that though on day-to-day basis. So, hey, I told you this podcast is inspired. If by no other quote, it's by Dr. Maya Angelou, that if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Please reach out, be there for each other, and like we said, man, good or bad, this too shall pass. Much love.
Hell yeah.